The following is a presentation of The Day.
A perfect fall night on the campus of Norwich Free Academy. The sun is starting to set, and the Friday night lights are upon us as the home NFA Wildcats play host to the Darien Blue Wave, and it's all live for you on Game Day. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, we provide solutions to all your dental needs. Your smile is our top priority. Visit us today at waterforddentalhealth.com. Casey O'Neill, along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, welcome back. The long-awaited reunion, my friend, the two of us tonight, and we've got ourselves perhaps the number one team in the state of Connecticut, the Darien Blue Wave.
Yeah, it appears to be so, Casey. A big win last week against Newtown. They travel, 95 miles across the other end of the state to here at the academy, and this is a really, really big-time test for NFA. Obviously, the opening of the season against Xavier, a couple of wins along the way, and Woodstock and East Lyme, but big boys come calling tonight.
Darien will kick off. Beautiful blue and white uniforms left to right on your screen, and a low line drive kick will bounce on the turf and straight up the middle for NFA with a nice return out. Past the 35-yard line is D'Angelo Aristilde, and that is where NFA will have its first possession. Of starts and stops with the quarterback, as always. Jaden Desalus, who's been here for a few years now, gets the start, and he's going to be looking as much as possible for number one, Max Pierre-Louis.
A long bus ride for Darien. Let's see if NFA can make some plays early and maybe catch Darien napping a little bit.
Right off the bat from the shotgun, four wide receivers. In motion goes Kenny. Desalus to throw, slant to Pierre-Louis, and he's got it just shy of the 50-yard line, and that is probably going to move the chains, and it does. So first down for NFA right off the bat.
Yep, nice comfortable throw for Desalus, Casey, right out of the two-step drop, finds his receiver coming, is a big target, catches him in the slant, 12 yards, move the sticks.
You can see Darien is going to double cover Pierre-Louis at all times. Inside handoff to Kenny, and he is hit right off the bat. In the backfield comes Sean Quick. Perfect name for a quick linebacker as he shot the gap and stopped him for a yard loss.
Keep an eye on the line of scrimmage here early. See which team can kind of, put their stamp on it up front. See if NFA can hold their own against that defensive line of Darien.
2nd and 10. Desalus all by himself. Kenny goes in motion to his right. Gonna throw, swing pass, out it goes to Kenny, has it in the flat, and not much there, 3-yard gain, but really flying to the football, the Darien defense. That time it was Leighton Reeser getting there first, and it'll bring up 3rd and about 7. Now you look at what they're doing, Sports Doctor, with Pierre-Louis. They are giving double looks to him.
Yeah.
This is the first time he appears to have single coverage out there right now. Alec Medwar is out on him, and I think they're gonna have to look for him. There's the slant, the throw, the catch, and the tackle is made almost immediately, but I think it's going to be enough for a first down. Now they're saying incomplete. So Medwar did a nice job of knocking the ball away, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Pre-snap there, Casey, too. Medwar was calling for help from the deep safety. He was one-on-one. He was calling for the help. He didn't get it. Max Pierre-Louis just couldn't hang on, and NFL go for it on 4th down.
And it looks like they're going to have that same single coverage, but the safety's there to help with the slant. He won't be there to help with an out or a deep pattern here on 4th and 7. Desalus, this time he looks for the deep ball. Pierre-Louis, the high jumper, and great defense out there by Medwar denying him. Ball was a little bit underthrown. When you've got the high jump champion, you got to put it up high.
Yep, he's behind the defender on the play, too. Throw it up, let him make a play on it. Get a jump ball situation, but it's underthrown. The receiver's got to come back to get it. It's not good for NFA.
That was a great job out there by the Blue Wave on their first possession they hold. So they're going to bring out their quarterback, senior Miles Drake. He's a dynamic playmaker, and he's going to be throwing it to Matthew Minikis all night long. So watch that combination. On 1st down, handoff straight up the middle goes Kaminski, and he's going to put his head down. Ball's loose, and NFA looks like they're going to recover it at the 35-yard line, and they do. Coming out of it is Aristilde, and it is going to be first down NFA as Kaminski put it on the turf.
A little home cooking there for the Wildcats, Casey. Nice run that time up the gut by Kaminski, but he just got, ball got stripped. NFA was on it, deep center fielder, and playing free safety. Look at this, NFA 1st and 10 from the 35. Listen, in a game like this, too, you're going to have to catch a break or two along the way. And early going, NFA caught a break there.
Well, you know, Ty Kaminski's a formidable back. He had plenty of room, and he was running with guys hanging on him. We said the NFA defense wasn't a classic NFA defense, but creating turnovers is a way to keep yourselves in the game. 1st down, Desalus to throw, and it's going to be intercepted and dropped. He had Kenny going up the sideline. He threw it on an out, and Reeser had a chance to intercept it, but instead it'll be incomplete. 2nd down for the Wildcats.
Leighton Reeser stays home, Casey, from the linebacker position. Read the play soup to nuts, dropped the ball on the sidelines. NFA dodging a bullet there.
So now here comes that double coverage. They're going to run 37 Mac McGarren out there. He'll play press coverage on St. Louis, and he's going to draw a penalty as he got St. Louis to flex, and that's going to be a false start against the Wildcats. So talk a little bit about what you're seeing down at the bottom of the screen right now with the different looks that they're giving Pierre-Louis.
You've got Pierre-Louis single coverage. The safety comes over number 4, so now you've got inside help in case Pierre-Louis runs that little slant.
And now they come up and they
play a double coverage look.
Flat double coverage. Safety over the top. Middle of the field should
wide
be open here. Desalus to throw. Out in the flat. Has a man complete. Short gain of about 6 or 7 yards.
I think it's going to be, I'm sorry, Casey, a bit of a quick-hitting passing game for NFA coming out to shoot. A couple of slants, a couple of pops to the outside. Trying to get their guys in space with some speed, some blocking downfield, but very good job over there on that side of the field by Darien protecting.
Got back most of the penalty. It'll be 3rd and 11. That was Vieira on the catch. But, yeah, NFA's got to get the ball out of their hands. So that's what they're going to do, but they're going to take Pierre-Louis away.
Single coverage this time on Max.
Desalus in the flat, complete. Not much there. He got it out to Shane Barron, but minimal gain. It's going to bring up 4th and long, and I think this time the punt team will come out there for the Wildcats.
Again, you talked about the press coverage, the double coverage here on the outside with Max Pierre-Louis. That middle of the field is wide open. Maybe somebody going up the seam, a tight end or something like that to kind of shake things up a little bit.
Bacon Academy, or I should say Colchester's finest. He doesn't go to Bacon. Gage Hinckley's going to be the punter for NFA. He was a Cougar a year ago, punting it away when he bombs one here to the 30-yard line. Fair caught out there for Darien, and the fair catch is made by Jalen L'Esperance. And nice punt from Hinckley.
1st and 10 from the 31. Darien will set up shop. 1 offensive play, 1 turnover. I
know Bacon Academy, who's over at Fitch tonight, looks at Hinckley and says, "Why'd you stay home, Gage?
Why'd you go?
Stay home." So 1st and 10. The Blue Wave had a big gain on their first possession before the fumble. This time, pass into the flat, caught, cutting back inside for almost a 1st down goes Jeremiah Stafford on the little quick screen.
A little bubble screen that time to Stafford. Casey, good blocking downfield. Wide receivers, defensive linemen getting downfield 8 yards on the gain. Easy pitch and catch that time for Stafford.
I think you're going to see both teams executing the ball, getting out of the quarterback's hand as quickly as possible.
Quick hitting stuff.
Drake to throw, has time, and throws a little bit behind Stafford this time, incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Now you see a 2-step drop, single read, deliver the goods. That time the ball was dropped, but nothing fancy there, nothing complicated, nothing cute. Protect your quarterback, let him get it off, and very fast.
Now they're going to hand it off to Kaminski here to get the 1st down, and then they're going to throw it. There's the handoff to Kaminski, puts his head down, 1st down, and then we're going to move the chains, and we're going to do it all over again.
You got a copy of the playbook right there.
Kenny with a tackle. Well, you had the short 2nd down, so they took a shot at the pass.
Right.
But I think they realized even after the first play that 5 yards with Kaminski's there almost whenever they want it. The question is going to be whether they want to ride that or whether they want to air it out with the 4 wide that they have right now. Hand off to Kaminski again. Dragging people, breaks a tackle into the open. Foot race down the sideline. 1 man to beat. Looking for a block. Almost to the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Wave. What an individual effort by Ty Kaminski.
47 yards, Casey, on a touchdown run. Got ahead of steam, busted through the line of scrimmage, and see you later.
Down the sideline, showing a little bit of everything. Showed patience in the hole. Showed vision on the cutback. showed power to break the tackle, and showed speed to the end zone.
You get the kid like that running north-south with his shoulder pads squared off. Casey, stiff arm and to the house.
McMullen in for the extra point. Out of the hold of Minikis. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. And with 7:53 remaining in period number 1, the Blue Wave break on top, 7-0. This timeout is brought to you by CRAC, bringing the light to mental health through opening doors and opening minds. You can learn more at CRACCT.com. That's SERACCT.com. 7:53 remaining here in period number 1. The Blue Wave hop on top, 7-0. And I think that run, like I said there, that's going to be there all day for them. They especially off the right side of their offensive line. They got a size advantage, and pretty clear that Kaminski is going to have a lot of opportunities in this ball game. But, you know, that's not necessarily their DNA. They like to throw the ball and mix it up.
Well, their playbook is not limited, that's for sure. Being, you know, obviously the number 1 team in the state and the teams they play against, and the passing game is working, the quick hitters, the two-step drops, and when you can pop a kid 67 yards up the gut, that's a luxury.
Line drive on the ground, still rolling. Picked up by NFA and breaking it, cutting it back towards the middle of the field. A nice run back over the 40-yard line for an NFA player who does not appear on our roster.
He's number 12. He's number 12. He's number 12 in your program. He's number 1 in your hearts.
We will effort who number 12 is. I'm guessing that someone in the NFA student section could probably tell us who 12 actually is, since he's not on our roster. We'll get that information for you.
All right, Casey, important here for NFA to kind of pick up a couple first downs, move the sticks a little bit, keep that Darien offense off the field. And again, double coverage on Max.
Desalus from the shotgun. Looks to throw. Has time. And incomplete. Into the flat it goes.
Number 37, Max McGarren is.
Skylar Rent is number 12. He is on our roster numberless. We're going to make him number 12. And he was not only the person who had the great kick return, but was the one that got hammered there in the flat on the incomplete pass, second down. There's a slant to Pierre-Louis, and he is brought down by the neck about a yard shy of the third down. And that's a play where the double coverage can't come. If they have the outside double coverage, high safety, you can run that slant.
Right. McGarren tries to get a little bit physical with him at the line of scrimmage, and that time Max pulled a little slip on him, pushed his hand down, got himself free. 3rd down and 4. It was a great route run by Max.
3rd down and 2. Desalus, the senior quarterback, gonna throw. Looking for Pierre-Louis again, and this time broken up. Running to the football was Joe Cesare, and it's gonna be 4th down. Here's the thing.
Well, you got to show it, but you got to go somewhere else, too. You've got to spread the wealth a little bit.
They're committing essentially 3 guys.
Yes.
Because they're playing a man up, they're playing the safety high, and then they're playing the other safety on the inside to take away the slant, which means they're committing 3 guys. That means that the other guy in the route, someone has to be open. 4th down, NFA going to go for it. I think they know they need to score points. And bounced.
That is
shot intended for Vieira, and it's going to be incomplete.
That is such a hard throw on the collegiate level, never mind the high school level. That long out to the opposite side of the field, that play takes a long time to develop, and if your quarterback's not throwing a strike, that's what happens. The ball just kind of bounces. That's a 30-yard pass to the other side of the field to get 3 yards.
Now, that's a great point, and not only is the length of the pass difficult, if you put it on any side of the other than right on the money,
it could get picked off.
Right, so it's a dangerous
it's a tough
throw as well.
Man.
So not only is it far, but you can't miss to the inside or it's a pick 6. You can't overthrow it or it's a pick 6. 1st down. Drake to throw, deep ball down the sideline, looking for Minikis, and incomplete. Minikis was open, and I think we're going to get a pass interference penalty. So Minikis was open. Drake, that's his guy, put it on the money, and we're going to get a pass interference against NFA.
Drake had a lot of time to throw the football, let his receiver get down there, Casey. Beat the coverage. And Darien's not afraid to take shots, are they?
Now, for all of those listening, watching, and for our own Peter Wappy and the crew, as you get older, you start to have various wear and tear injuries.
Yeah.
And so, inevitably, in my life, I have talked about my meniscus so many times that I inevitably want to call him Matthew Meniscus, only because I've talked to doctors about my own meniscus for so long, but it is Minikis. I'm going to have to make sure that I don't call him the part of my knee. First down, Darien. Drake to throw. There's a screen pass, and Minikis dropped it, falls on it. It was not a lateral. It was just a behind the line of scrimmage, but incomplete, and it will bring up second down.
It's a bubble screen. We see it on the other side of the formation that time for Darien. Now, they have to get the receiver about 4 or 5 yards back from the line of scrimmage, let him turn upfield and make a play. That time he couldn't hang on.
So here's something I want to.
But again, I'm sorry, Case. They're going to reverse the formation now, go from left to right.
Trips to the right. Minikis' sole out left. This time handoff goes to Kaminski up the middle, breaks a tackle, puts his head down, and drives forward and brought down by Colby Briggs, but that's going to be a nice gain of 6. I'll bring up 3rd and short. So one thing that I think is interesting here, Darien likes to go up-tempo. NFA going for it on 4th down, going a little up-tempo themselves. That would seem to be playing right into Darien's hands.
A little bit.
3rd down, Drake to throw, plenty of time. Sideline wide open, Kaminski catches it, and a touchdown. Blue wave. Ty Kaminski with his 2nd touchdown of the game. First one on the ground, 2nd one in the air. A strike from Miles Drake, and it's 13-0 Darien.
Yeah, Jake Keeney was coming off the edge on a bit of a blitz, number 21 for NFA. Could not get to Drake, and it's touchdown right there for Darien. They can throw it. They can run it. They can throw it. They have the goods. Tough to let that running back come free and unaccounted for out of the backfield.
McMullen will kick the extra point. Minikis will hold. Snap is down, and the kick is up. And it is good, and that is 14-0 Darien. So we had talked, off the Newtown win last week, a long drive.
Sure.
Would they come out a little flat? First play from scrimmage, fumble? They're not flat.
No, they're not flat. They're not flat. No.
And you know what? You don't get to be in the conversation for the number 1 team in the state unless you know how to go on the road anywhere.
Right.
And play and win. Now, there are it's pretty much split right now, them and St. Joseph's.
It's St. Joe's, yeah.
They get about the same amount of first-place votes, so it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And they will meet in a few weeks,
Yeah.
St. Joe's and Darien, so they can settle who the number 1 team in the state is.
There's no mystery why Darien every single year it seems like they're playing for a double L championship along with, either Greenwich or New Canaan or some of these other schools out of the other end of the state. They're good. They're well drilled. Well coached, talented group.
I talked about this with Mike tomorrow a little bit before the game, and a lot of people always talk about, well, they should win. They have all the resources, but you know what? They do win.
Yes.
So if you have all the resources, you should win, and they do.
Sure.
So it's like, if you have the best ingredients, you should make the best food, and they do.
That's
Ball
a good point.
bouncing on the turf, straight up the middle, back to the 24-yard line, still churning, still working. I gotta love the effort here. Wildcats pushing the pile, not going down easy. Sky Laurent was working, getting NFA out past the 30.
Well, NFA is going to have to try and put some sort of sustainable drive here now and try to pick up a couple first downs and chew up some clock and obviously play keep away from this Darien offense.
I wouldn't mind seeing them run the ball a little bit, see how they do that way. 6 minutes remaining in the first period, 14-0 Darien.
Talked about that middle of the field being open.
Hand off to Kenny and nothing doing. We acknowledge, for those of you watching at home, that we have no scoreboard right now. We're efforting that, but in the meantime, 5:50 remaining in the first period, 14-0 Darien on top of NFA.
Big David Evanchek, number 9 there, Casey's senior, 5'10", 230, swallowing up.
Yep, brother was an all-state player. That name's a well-known name in Darien, so 2nd and 9.
Anchoring down that defense.
In motion, Laurent. Desalis throws, has his man over the middle. Complete it goes to Hunter Stadnicki, and he'll be up close to a first down. One of the things, you want to know why NFA is good? You're talking about seniors. A lot of seniors. We talked about all these teams in the early going. They were all young.
Yeah.
You look at Darien, the quarterback's a senior. The 3 running backs are seniors. The 3 wideouts are seniors.
Last time they played, they were sophomores, so they're hungry as seniors.
But they probably played.
Yeah, I'm sure they did, yeah.
As opposed to a lot of these teams whose kids have never played high school football. Out in the flat for Laurent it goes. That time Max Pierre-Louis went in and took double coverage with him, and they tried to run the
I
out.
like that play call because then if the back catches it, you've got nobody in front of him because Max Pierre-Louis cleared out all kinds of space, and if they can make that play, he's got nobody in front of him. He's got a lot of green grass.
4th down, and the punting unit, Gage Hinckley, comes on for NFA. He had a good punt in his previous effort, and he'll stand at the 30-yard line, just under 5 minutes. Low end over end kick will bounce at the 30 and take a good NFA bounce inside the 20, where it'll be downed at the 19-yard line. So good punt from Hinckley, and with 4:49 remaining in the first period, Darien on top 14-0. They will take over from their own 19-yard line.
Darien takes over, 1st and 10.
Oh, nice to be back here at NFA for a football game, too. The student section's packed. Stands are packed.
Yeah, I remember how beautiful this place
is. Great place to see a game, yeah.
On a Saturday, though, this place is. Remember how beautiful it was, that game against Xavier on a Saturday? But Friday night here is beautiful.
A lot of fun.
Drake to throw on 1st down. Pressured, rolls, throws, deep sideline route, and has a man. Complete it goes to John Wilson, and Wilson crosses midfield to the 45-yard line, and he was wide open.
Yeah, Wilson running free. Breakdown there by the NFA secondary, and all day long for Drake to run around, create a little space, and find his man.
And Miles Drake can throw the football, by the way. I mean, he threw that ball rolling right off his back
40
foot.
yards.
No problem. 1st and 10. Drake going to throw it again. Screen pass to Wilson. Wilson catches it at the 45, cuts it outside of the 40, and brought down after a 1st down on the far sideline. And it's going to be more blue wave. On the tackle was Aristide, but another 1st down for Darien.
And it's nothing fancy for Darien. Just a quick hit and screen to the outside. Wide receivers blocking their men downfield. So, he's 7-8 yards downfield before he's even touched by a defender.
Low snap. Drake picks it up. Plenty of time. Now rolls. Still on his feet. Rolling. Throws over to the end zone and off the fingertips of Kaminski. He had tried to make a one-handed catch over the shoulder and incomplete, and he was open as well.
Yep. And Drake will throw it. He is not going to tuck and run that ball. He's going to give his receivers some time to get a little separation out there, and that was almost another touchdown.
Yes, he is Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's going to roll and let it fly. And if he has to run, he will, but he's going to let it fly. I'll bring up 2nd and 10. And right now, Darien is like a kid in the candy store right now. Pick your poison here if you're NFA. Little screen in the flat it goes to Minikis, and he's got a 1st down, and we're going to get a flag as well. And it might be a face mask. We'll see what the officials say. As it is, it's going to be close to a 1st down for Minikis.
Drake's pass complete to Minikis.
Officials will confer, and they're saying
it's
it
against
is against
NFA.
NFA.
Yeah.
That's probably a face mask. Officials saying, horse collar.
Yep.
Either way, it's going to be a personal foul, face mask against NFA. So they offset. So they actually had a penalty against Darien as well. So offsetting penalties, we'll do it all over again. 3:45 remaining here in the first period. 14-0. Darien on top with the football and driving. 2nd and 10. Ball will be at the 32-yard line, and Drake will operate out of the shotgun with Kaminski. Handoff to Kaminski, straight up the middle, hurdles a defender and gains 5 with relative ease, and brought down by Dante Henry, but another big hole for
Talked about that line of scrimmage at the beginning of the game, and see what team can kind of put their stamp of seal up front, and Darien right now just owning the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 3. Drake gonna throw, plenty of time, has Kaminski in the flat. Breaks a tackle, dives towards the 1st down marker, and he'll have it. Brought down on the play by Cameron Green, but the chains will move. And with 3 minutes and now 2:59, Darien will have a 1st down, already up 14-0 here in the first period.
Old school running back right there. He'd probably get 30 touches for the game's over. He'd run it, catch it, do whatever you want with it. He's just he's a feature back, as they would say. He's a feature back, as they would say.
He's a horse. He's a Christian McCaffrey kind of a horse. Do a little bit of everything. So that means I already called one Aaron Rodgers and the other McCaffrey.
Yeah, there you go.
Drake, all the time in the world. Now he's pressured. rolling towards his left, still looking downfield, throws for the back of the end zone, incomplete over the head of Minikis. He was pressured. Finally, Dante Henry got some pressure on him, but Drake had all day, so credit the secondary that time for NFA.
It's buying a little time with your feet, trying to let the receiver get open, and secondary that time for NFA comes up big. 2nd down and 10. 2:26 left to go here in the first quarter, Casey. I just don't want to see NFA give up on a score. Can't afford to.
Drake gonna throw, rolls left. Nothing there. Still, now he's gonna tuck it himself, keep it down the sideline. 1st down, cuts it back inside. Touchdown, Darien Miles Drake on the quarterback keeper, 19 yards, and Darien up 20-0.
Well, that time you saw Drake eyes up the whole way, trying to look for a receiver. Great job by the secondary for NFA, locking down the receivers, but nobody spying Drake that time. Walked into the end zone.
And you can see why there's a lot of optimism in Darien about their team. This is a very, very special team.
That's a good team.
Quarterback with a lot of weapons. They're up 20-0. Extra point is up and good from McMullen. 21-0 with 2:15 remaining here in the first period. And I think right now NFA is feeling like, they just got hit across the jaw a few times.
3 times.
3 times.
To be exactly. 3 touchdowns.
Well, this is our chance to be not, it doesn't have to be brutally honest, but, it's okay to say that this is not a classic NFA team. They've been the premier team in the conference for a number of years as far as the big schools go. They've traveled. They'll play anybody. You gotta give all kinds of credit to Jason Bakulis, Jamal Davis before that.
Yeah.
They'll play anybody in the state. And in years past, really good NFA teams that dominated the ECC struggled to beat teams like Darien, New Canaan,
Staples.
This is not a classic NFA team. This is a younger team. They haven't been together as long. Struggled to beat East Lyme, struggled to beat Woodstock, and this is a classic Darien.
Talking to Jason Bakulis before the season too, he's very candid with the fact that we look good in the practice field. We can throw it. We can do this. We can do that. But he said, Keith, until we get hit, I don't know how my team is going to react. He says all of our seniors are sophomores.
That's right.
We're sophomores last time they played.
Laurent straight up the middle, has a hole, breaks into the open. Laurent to the outside and brought down by the 40-yard line. Not at the 40-yard line, but by the 40-yard line.
A little laundry on the field back at the 28-yard line.
That's going to be a block in the back and bring it all back. But that's a big, I'll tell you right now, one of the pluses here in the first half has been the play of Sky Laurent. The senior has been very good on the kick returns.
Yep, bring it back.
Block in the back, which you see all the time, but that was a energizing play, and Laurent has energized NFA on all of his kickoffs. He's shown some speed, he showed some toughness, although he did get tackled by the 40-yard line that time.
Hey, yes, he did.
40-yard line can jump up and bite you at any moment.
Got him by the ankles. Shoestring tackle.
40-yard line's good. Good position, good technique. So NFA will start at their own 20 with 2:07 remaining in the first period, 21-0. And it's funny because the last few weeks we've done teams that have run the ball.
Yeah.
These two teams are throwing the ball. Jaden Desalus in the backfield, quarterback, shotgun. Has Laurent standing next to him. He's going to throw. Pressured. And evades the first man. Can't evade the second, third, and fourth. And he is sacked. Evan Chick was the first one there. And that's a big loss. Jack Barber, number 92, in there as well for the Blue Wave.
Now, in that play, too, Casey, Max Pierre-Louis lined up on the other side of the formation and trip set. And I think we're trying to spring him on a post pattern down the middle of the field. Now he's back over here on the right.
2nd and 20. Desalus to throw. Inside pressure. Throws in the flat. Incomplete. Well defended. Manware, I believe, was the first buddy there. Nope, it was Reeser. Reeser. 17, and he was all over the NFA receiver. Incomplete, 3rd and 20 with 1:27 remaining here in the period, 21-0. Darien.
The screen pass that time, and Reeser snuffed that out pretty good. And again, how does NFA get yards in chunks? I mean, they're down 21-0 right now. Tough sledding for this offense.
3rd down, 1:27 remaining. Desalus from the shotgun. First thing, he's got to have some time. Pressured, rolls out right, looking to throw on the run, throws on the run, has a man, incomplete. In between two men, Hunter Stadnicki was the closest one, and Hinckley will come in for the Wildcats to punt out of his end zone. And we'd like to welcome all of you downstate from Darien who are watching us live on theday.com. Here we are on game day, Casey O'Neill and the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, and it's a pleasure to broadcast the Darien Blue Wave, the #1 team in the state, who has shown why here in the early going. Good snap. Hinckley with a high end-over-end punt coming down at the 40-yard line to Minikis. Breaks a tackle, still on his feet now, cuts it back to the sideline, showing some speed. One man to beat is Hinckley, and Hinckley bangs him out of bounds. 6-on-6, knocks him out at around the 12, 13-yard line.
Does the team speed of Darien surprise you? Because they are quick. They are fast.
Yes, and
their skill people, the backs, the receivers are all, the linebacking core, they're all
team
fast.
Speed. That's the thing. Team speed. Everybody can run.
Fast.
I'm watching the quarterback move, and he can run. I'm watching all the receivers, the backs, the tight ends, like you said, the linebackers. They can all move.
Scoot,
First and 10 from the 15, 1:03 remaining in the period. Wilson in motion. Drake rolls left. Has his man Wilson. Breaks a tackle, cuts it back towards the end zone, reaching. Touchdown, Blue Wave, John Wilson, and it is 27-0.
Second touchdown pass of the night for Drake.
Wilson that time went in motion. Nothing fancy about the route. The problem is they just have so many weapons. McMullen in to kick the extra point, and it is up and it is good. And with 53 seconds remaining in the first period, can you believe it? 28-0. Darien is a machine.
Yeah, it's a good football team. All across the board, all phases, as Bill Belichick would say, all three phases. Defense, special teams,
the only thing
offense.
I haven't seen them do yet, the kickoffs.
Punt.
No, the kickoff. Well, they may not have the punt,
right.
but the kickoffs haven't. They've been
kick return.
The chunk kickoffs.
Chunk kickoff. Okay, gotcha.
And they haven't banged a kickoff yet. I've been waiting.
Right.
I want to see the guy put it in the end zone.
All right.
That's the only thing left.
You're asking a lot.
That's the only thing left. The only thing left they haven't done here in the first quarter. We still have a long way to go.
A lot of football left.
Let's get your rosters out, ladies and gentlemen, because we might see.
What's the 35-0 and the clock runs? Is that what it is?
Yes.
35 points or 32 points?
35.
35.
We've seen that earlier this year, the Ledyard and Bacon Academy. The clock started running. Peter Wappy for the future use. If Stonington wins tonight, they and Killingly's their game will be for that division championship in 2 weeks. Mike DeMora wanted me to relay that to you. Line drive. Straight up the gut goes Laurent. And I'll tell you, Sky Laurent has been a bright spot here in the first period for NFA. 4 kickoff returns, and he has shown a little bit of toughness and speed on all 4.
Yeah, Mason Headley, number 47, plugged and planted him right there on the spot. I like the way Darien's got the names on the back of their jerseys too.
I like everything that Darien's done. They got the big screen TV to run to see the plays. You know, they got the Darien football pop-up tent.
Yeah.
They came down in a bus nicer than either of our cars.
Sure. Watch and remember the Titans probably on the little screens.
Maybe a little, definitely not Rudy.
No.
Handoff to Kenny on first down. Nice gain for Jake Kenny, and that's going to take the clock down under 35 seconds. 35 seconds and counting, 28-0 here in the first quarter. Darien on top of NFA. Going to be 2nd and 6. They say Kenny got 4. Desalus going to throw. Throws it inside. Complete to Stadnicki. He'll be up right next to the first down marker. And that is going to take us to the end of the first period, though. 5 seconds and counting here as we tick down to the end of 1. And we are at the end of first period. 28-0. Darien on top. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
We're back here on 3rd and 4 for NFA. Desalus to throw, and zipped in a great defensive play that time. Jumping the route and cutting in was Luke Ademel, and that'll be an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th down and 3, and I think they're going to bring Hinckley into punt, but I mean, at this point, I don't know how many 4th and 3s you're going to get. I might go for it.
Yeah, Ademel jumped that route. He read the quarterback's eyes to a T.
Speaking of jumping the route, I have not seen Pierre-Louis on the field for the last handful of plays. He's on the far sideline. Hinckley to punt. Gets it off, and it's going to cross the 30-yard line and get down to about the 26, where Darien will take over. Let's see how they do going right to left instead of left to right.
Would you go for that on 4th down?
Yes.
You would have gone.
It's 28-0.
Sure.
28-0. Do we have a scoreboard? 28-0. Darien as we start the second period. 11:47 to be exact. The Blue Wave will have it moving right to left on your screen, and I do like their uniform. It's very crisp, blue and white. Yeah. The Blue Wave. Question was asked of me what the backstory to the Blue Wave is, where the Darien Blue Wave come from. We'll have to. If you're from Darien, feel free to message us on social media. Let us know where the Blue Wave moniker comes from. Drake wants to throw. Rolls. Touchdown, Blue Wave. No one near him. Jalen L'Esperance. Wow.
Talked about team speed. How's that? Quick, fast, blocking downfield.
L'Esperance.
Good night.
Jalen L'Esperance was gone. Absolutely just sprinter speed down the sideline, 34-0 Darien. High snap, but the kick is good. Off the foot of McMullen, 35-0 Blue Wave with 11 minutes and 13 seconds remaining here in the half.
You want to sit down for this one?
I'm going to sit down. Wow. So before the game, we were talking about predictions.
Yeah.
This is easier than we expected.
Yeah, it is. And it's two things. Obviously, Darien A is that good, and NFA's got some work to do. They talked about them not being the classic NFA team of years past, and some big question marks along the way. And but Darien's good, man. They get fast kids over there. So well disciplined too. Those bubble screens they're executed to a T.
Yeah, they're playing very well. NFA opened the season with Xavier. They lost 31-19. That's hard to tell. First game of the year. Good Xavier team, top 10 team in the state.
Yeah.
And then they came back with wins over Woodstock and East Lyme. Held on against Woodstock. Held on against East Lyme. Kickoff is bouncing on the turf, and it sneaks by. Picked up by Amato. And a nice run back by Amato, and he'll get an NFA up to the 20-yard line. But, people were going, really, 21-20 against Woodstock? And, 28-26 against East Lyme. And so they're, maybe NFA is maybe
played well against Xavier in week 1, right? They went 31-19. I think they lost just by 12 points at Xavier.
And that's when and then those two losses, the two wins rather, made people go, what's going on here? Obviously, they're outmatched tonight. This is a different class of football team that they're facing right now. Pass is thrown and complete. Short gain. Number 19, Shane Barron on the reception for NFA. He'll gain 4, but Darien does everything well.
Yeah.
And they're putting a lot of pressure. I mean, look how on the ball all 11 guys are.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
There's nobody within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Everybody's 7 yards and up on the line of scrimmage.
Handoff to Laurent on second down and nothing there. Tripped up after a gain of a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Press coverage on the wide receivers. They crowd you at the line of scrimmage. Don't allow you to get break free a little bit.
10 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here in the first half. 35-0. Blue Wave on top. 3rd down and 5 for NFA. Double coverage on Pierre-Louis on the far side. Trips right for Desilus. Looks to throw out in the flat, and he underthrows his man incomplete. It was looking for Stadnicki. It'll bring 4th down up, and on will come Hinckley to punt. But every time you punt it away, Darien just
you get it back.
scores at will.
You get it back, but after a score, yeah.
I don't know what I wouldn't. I don't know. Right now.
You'd go for it on 4th down. They're going to run the clock anyway, right?
Jason Bakulis, if I were him, I don't have an answer. Clock shouldn't be stopped, 35-0, unless it's I thought it was the second period on. I think the clock's supposed to be running. But
right.
Hinckley, nice, high, spiraling kick, takes a bounce at the 40-yard line of Darien and downed at we'll call it the 35 by NFA, and that's where the Blue Wave will have it. 1st and 10, already on top 35-0 here with 9:44 remaining in the half. Now keep our eyes open because at some point, probably in the second half, we're going to see a whole new crop of players here for Darien. Well, we're already going to see a new quarterback in the game. Connor Palin, the senior, is in the game for Darien. So Palin has it, hands off to Kaminski, but we're going to get a false start,
yeah.
Which happens a lot when you get a new quarterback in the game. Slightly different rhythm. So here's an unusual thing. You don't see at many schools a senior backup to a senior.
Senior, yeah.
You don't see that a lot.
Talented.
But that's how deep the roster is. To be the backup quarterback at Darien is, he's probably going to get an awful lot of time. That's going to back.
You get a lot of time this game. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, he really is. I think Miles Drake has earned a seat here for the remainder of this one. 1st down off right tackle goes Kaminski, and he'll gain about 5, maybe 4 of those 5 penalty yards back. Clock runs with 9:25 remaining, 35-0 Darien.
How do you keep your team engaged right now if you're Jason Bakulis? That's a very, very difficult challenge over there right now.
I'll give you my halftime speech. I'll tell you right after this play. Palin rolls right, steps up, throws deep down the field, throws a bullet, and it's knocked away. Great play defensively by NFA. Amato played great defense as he was looking for Stafford. Stafford had a step. By the way, the backup quarterback has a shot.
He is shotgun for an arm too. Yeah, nice job by Amato on defense that time, hanging in there.
Like when the backup comes in and throws a 40-yard rope right down the middle of the field.
So your halftime speech
after this play.
Right.
3rd and 12.
Okay.
Let's see if NFA can hold up right. Palin, bubble screen. Out it goes to Stafford. And
tripped up by the 19-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to say that Morissette made the tackle for NFA, but I think it was the 30-yard line. And we might see a Blue Wave punt.
Here we go.
So who is the punter for the Blue Wave? I mean, I'm guessing he doesn't get a lot of action.
28.
That is Trevor Herget. Herget is the kicker punter, and I don't think he sees a lot of punting action. We're going to talk about Darien's scores here in a second because I have a question for you. But I'm going to give you the halftime speech.
Sure.
Also. 8:30, clock running. Herget to punt it away for Darien. Snap is there. The punt is up, and it's shanked a wee bit, and but it takes a great Darien bounce, and it'll go out of bounds at about the 26-yard line where NFA will take over. So before we get to the halftime speech, let's look at Darien's scores. They opened with Fairfield Ward, and they win 41-8.
Right.
And the first thing I want to ask is, how'd they only score 41 points?
That's a good question. That's a good question. What did they score again?
41-8 against Fairfield Ward. Then they go to Bristol Central, and they win 47-0.
Yeah.
And I had to ask myself, how'd they only score 47 points?
Right.
Now, against a really good Newtown team, it was 27-14, which makes me go, Newtown's really
Not
good.
bad.
Newtown's really good to hold them to 27
no
points
doubt.
and
No
score a
doubt.
couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because this team is really good. First down, NFA. Ball at their own 28-yard line. They trail 35-0. Desilus to throw. Has time. Airs it out deep, looking for Pierre-Louis, and he is well covered. That was really good coverage on the outside by Medwar, who has gotten the assignment, and he and Max are talking. I think there's a mutual respect.
Yeah. They're physical with Max at the line of scrimmage, and then Medwar, again, you talk about the two wave of players that cover him. So he gets bumped at the line, Medwar will cover him going down the field. He gets single coverage on him now.
Well, he had single coverage that
Yeah.
time, but that's not his bread and butter. The deep ball is like
Right.
that. He's more of the slant guy, the in route. Second down, little pump fake. Desilus out into the flat. It goes to Kenny. Not much there. It'll be third and long.
That's Reeser. You know, and Leighton Reeser. Talk about team speed, Casey. Comes out of the linebacker position and just tracks things down so well.
By the way, look at the safety for Darien.
He's 7 yards off the line of scrimmage.
And Luke Demmel is 6'3", 210. He's playing safety.
Yeah.
6'3", 210 is like...
That's like J.J. Justice back in the day when he went to school here at NFA.
That's what your defensive ends are. This is a kid playing safety. I mean, that's, again, this is a very good Darien team, and it's little things like that stand out. I mean, he's 7 yards off the line of scrimmage, and you know he's bringing the hammer.
Right.
Third down and 10. Desilus, pump fake. They're going to go screen opposite direction, and it's tipped. Nice job, tipped at the line of scrimmage by Barber. They were trying for a bubble screen to Pierre-Louis, and Hinckley will come on to punt it away for the Wildcats.
So you've got about 7 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in the first half. Your team could probably be down by 6, maybe 7 scores at halftime. Is there a halftime speech?
Yeah, I got it for you. I got a halftime speech.
Oh, yeah, after this play.
Yeah. As we get a little closer to halftime.
All right, okay, here we go.
Oh, great high kick from Hinckley. Fair catch and ball loose on the turf, fumbled, and
I think NFA's got it.
Recover that one. I think NFA is going to have it at the 45-yard line. It is out of the pack. Comes Jeremiah Capps, the senior, on the fumble recovery, and well, that's the second thing that Darien's done wrong tonight. They fumbled
the first offensive possession of the game. They fumbled on their first offensive play, and then a muff punt right there.
So the halftime speech is something along the lines. You say, guys, that's the number 1 team in the state, and you just found out why. They're an exceptionally good team. And they kicked your ass in the first half.
Sure.
But that's what you want to be.
Yeah.
And we can be that.
Right.
And let's learn from it. Now, in the second half, we can go out and play that half.
Right.
And we can play that half and see how we do again. So you throw the first half away.
Sure, yeah.
But you don't pretend it didn't exist. You use it. You say, you guys got beat. Overthrow by Desilus on first down. You say you guys got beat, but you got beat by a great team. If you want to be a great team, go.
There's your measuring stick.
There's your stick. That's where we need to get. So what things can we do better? And then you give 2 things, just 2.
Yep.
In the second half, let's do this better, and let's do this better.
Yeah.
And you work on those 2 manageable things. That's my halftime speech.
Sure.
I'm not going to go in there and pretend that we can come back from 35-0. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is say we can actually make this thing a real building block for us.
Right.
Second down, Desilus from the shotgun. Pressured, rolls,
Trouble.
and he is sacked back at the 40-yard line. Evanchik.
Yeah, that linebacking core there, Evanchik and Rezor, and they just tee off. Evanchik come through that line of scrimmage, Casey, a big-time sack right there. Making plays all night.
Yeah, Evanchik's name should be familiar to you. That's a long-time Darien. His brother was an outstanding player as well.
5'10", 220, a senior.
And so here on third and long, 3rd and 20. Ball at the 46-yard line. Very long play for NFA. Clock at 6:18. 35-0 Blue Wave. Desilus, he's hammered, but we're going to get a penalty here. Desilus was hammered, but they got him up around the neck, and hopefully he's okay. Andrew Ferenza came in and absolutely ripped him, but as Desilus went to the turf, got him around the neck.
Get 15 yards, 15 yards on that. It's not an automatic first down.
And repeat third down. So That's another one that shocked me when we learned, and Mike DeMauro has a great column today in the day that you can read about the difference in the rules for high school, college, and the pros. But we're so used to personal foul being an automatic first down, and it's not. So all NFA did there was gain 10 yards.
You're right.
But in
not a first down.
In federation rules, it is not an automatic first down. See, everybody knows the pro and even the college rule, but in high school football,
it's not
a personal foul is not an automatic first down. It's just the yards, which is very strange for me. You would think in high school you would want it to be the automatic first down.
For the protection of the players.
That's correct. Pass incomplete, Desalus, and
he's got no time. I mean, he can't set his feet. Every single throw is rushed. He's behind all of his receivers. He's got no time up there.
5:43 remaining here in the first half. 35-0, Darien on top. It'll bring up 4th down, and Hinckley will come on to punt.
What's the speech at halftime if you're Darien?
I would applaud my effort because you did exactly what we asked you to do.
Yeah, you get off the bus.
You know, you came out and you put on a near perfect first half, and then I would sort of implore them to finish the job. Hinckley to get that one off the side of the foot, and it's going to go out of bounds. That's his least effective punt of the night. But I would be saying, if I were Darien, like, you want the shutout. You know, they've gotten, that's one thing you're going to go for.
Right.
You're going to tell some of the young kids that they're going to get a chance to play, and you're going to tell them specifically what you want from them. And then you're going to give them things to work on as well. You know, it's just because it's the younger kids maybe getting some time. So Darien already with the backup quarterback. Connor Palin is in the game, and it is 1st and 10, 5:36 remaining here in the first half. 35-0, Blue Wave on top. Handoff to Kaminski, big hole, breaks a tackle, straight up the field, cuts it to the outside, and he is off to the races. 40, crosses the 30, one man to beat, chased down, and a beautiful job hustling on the play is Amato, and he gets him out of bounds at the 10, but another huge run for Ty Kaminski.
About 67 yards. That's his second big run of the night, Casey. And again, I hate to use the term patient, but he is patient. He was patient that time in the hole. He set his blocks up. He shed a couple tackles, and then he turned on the Jets.
Tell you what, Amato, the sophomore, has shown some speed and some tenacity. Give him credit. He was not going down easy. Palin to throw, and touchdown, Minikis. Back of the end zone, Blue Wave tacks on 6 more. Palin threw a dart. Minikis with glue on the hands, and it's 41-0 Darien. And I have not much to say. I mean,
yeah.
A good football team, and they're showing why.
Right.
Extra point. I'll tell you, the busiest guy out there today has been Isaac McMullen. He's been
the extra points.
This is his 6th extra point. And it is good and through. He's 6 for 6. 42-0 here with 4:50 remaining in the half.
Well, speaking of teams on the other end of the state, New Canaan is one of those teams that's hovered around the top 5 for the last 10 years. See Drew Pine last week.
Yeah, got a chance to play.
Yeah, played well.
I was a little surprised. By the way, why is no one talking that the 2 quarterbacks at Notre Dame are Pinecone?
Because you're the only one that brings it up.
I mean, come on, it's Pinecone.
Yeah. He played well.
My son was very upset when he didn't get the job. He was like, I thought Pine was going to be the starter. And I was like, no, they brought the kid in from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
the Cone kid.
fifth-year kid, right?
Yeah, and Pine was – and to transition from a iconic quarterback like Ian Book, that's probably not a bad thing to have a fifth-year senior come in.
Right.
Pine still got 2 years after this to transition in.
Then a freshman there is pretty good, too.
They do, but he looked good, and I was happy to see him get some playing time. Tomorrow, we're going to –
That's a tough game
We're going to
tomorrow.
have plenty of time.
That's a tough. Yeah, we'll talk about that in the second half.
But I'm excited because I actually have a true in at Notre Dame for inside information.
There you go.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I learned there's some locker room talk going on at Notre Dame. Oh, he can bang it. High kick taken down by Laurent. And Laurent will cross the 35-yard line.
Hey, Laurent's played a good first half here. He's a tough kid. Got some speed, returns the kicks, takes a lick.
Yep, Sam Hall gave him a pop that time, but crossed the 35-yard line. And NFA down 42-0 here. And the crowd is not dissipating, which I love. The student section and in all of
the
their
band at halftime.
Cruise wear. The student section is in beach wear, cruise wear. The band, you got to stay and watch the halftime show. You got to watch halftime. The band is going to do something special. We've got 4:42 remaining, down 42-0 here. And Desilus has just been beaten up here in the first half under heavy pressure all game long. And that pass is incomplete. Intended for Jeremiah Capps. And nice defensive job again by Darien, and incomplete will be second down.
Well, the linebackers and the safeties now, they're sitting on the routes. They're reading the quarterback, they jump everything. All these are little kind of like sit-down routes by the receivers.
2nd and 10, a very aggressive Darien defense. In motion, Laurent. He's going to get the screen. And he puts his head down and gains about 6. Nice job there by Sky Laurent. A good play by NFA. What I like about Darien defensively, they clearly scouted NFA and they said, we're taking Pierre Louis out of this thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna, and once they were able to do that, then the rest of the defense becomes super
right.
aggressive.
Yeah.
They said we're going to pressure the quarterback and we're going to take Pierre Louis out of the game, and they've done that. And that's a good defense out there flying to the ball. And now they're hungry. 3rd and we'll call it 6. Laurent goes in motion. Desilus rolls, pressured by Evanchik, keeps it and cuts it back. Nice block. Nice play by Jaden Desilus to get the first down. The senior showing some speed and a cut. Well done. That'll move the chains with 3:40 remaining here in the first half. 42-0 Darien. They have played a virtually flawless half. 2 fumbles that they lost.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise this thing might be
60.
Desilus now on first down. Delayed handoff to Laurent, and nothing there. He's wrapped up immediately by Griffin Steinkraus, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Talked about, again, Steinkraus, 6'1", 255 as a junior, 6'1", 255, and you talk about him, and you got number 92 out to Jack Barber. He's another junior, 6'4", 230.
Well,
these kids are only juniors.
Yeah, there's some big
huge,
kids.
and they can move, man.
There's some big kids out there.
Strong, and they can move.
2nd and 11. Clock 2:50 and counting. Desilus to throw. Pressured on the outside, steps up and wrestled to the ground very quickly. Cole Murphy, the senior defensive tackle, pinched him from the edge and got him to the ground. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yep, Murphy and 92 Barber to clean up the mess there too. 3rd and 15. Is the gauge of a good football team to play up front? Offensive line, defensive line, or in high school, can you get away with it a little bit with some good skill people?
You can.
If you're a little weak up front?
You can. You can hide a guy or two. You can't hide
a unit.
A weak unit.
Yeah.
But you can hide a guy or two. But against a team like Darien, you can't really hide anybody because there's no weakness there.
Sure.
Desilus to throw. Has time. Throws it, and it's knocked down and threw it behind the intended receiver, Stadnicki, incomplete. And that'll
Stadnicki was open. Threw it behind him. You can see Stadnicki a little bit of a little exhausted look, frustrated look.
The busiest guy in the first half for NFA has been the punter, Gage Hinckley. I think this is his 6th or 7th punt here. NFA is going to want to score in the second half, and Darien's going to want the shutout.
Sure.
And that's going to be what we'll see in the second half. We'll see a running clock as well, which I'm surprised we haven't seen yet. Nice punt by Hinckley. And a fair catch at the 28-yard line by Jeremiah Stafford, and that's where Darien will set up.
I have got to think that it's after the second quarter with their running clock.
Yeah, I thought it was so it's second half.
Second half, yeah.
Running time, but I thought it was in the third. I thought it was in the second quarter, but Peter, do you remember at the Bacon Ledger game when that running clock started? Well, it'll definitely be in the second half. 1:53 here in the first half, 42-0 Darien. Handoff up the middle, and a big gain on first down goes Jamal Mirage.
That's your guy.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
I said on the field beforehand, I said, Mirage. He's like, yep, you thought you see me, but I'm not really there.
You don't, yeah.
That's a great
nice
name.
Kid, yeah.
Yeah, he was a good kid.
A good kid.
Yeah, so he's getting some time now. The Mirage is there. He's a senior, and he's standing next to the senior backup quarterback, Connor Palin. Hand off to Mirage, and he'll move the chains. First down as the clock ticks. 1:20 remaining here in the first half. 42-0 Darien.
But you got to think at this point, too, Darien would be happy going into the locker room up 42-0. Unless Mirage can pop one from 50, 60.
I mean, it's been a near flawless first half. At this point, they're just trying to manage the score and get their kids time. Hand off to Mirage. Swallowed up by the center of the NFA line. Marquez Gibson McKeithen. Big 91 in on the tackle that time for the Wildcats. And that'll take the clock down. As we head towards halftime, we should let you know that we will have a feature at halftime as well as the NFA band. And we're going to be putting on quite a show here at halftime at this 42-0 game right now. Darien on top. 23 seconds remaining. Handoff, Mirage trying to break a tackle, and he does, but there goes flying to the ball. Great job by the NFA defense as a unit. He broke the tackle of Dante Henry, but then they flew to the ball and got Mirage down, and that's going to take us to halftime. So we are at halftime here at NFA. It has been a near perfect half for the Blue Wave of Darien. The #1 team in the state has a 42-0 lead over the Wildcats. Come on back for halftime action. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
NFA senior Max Pierre-Louis could have a lot to brag about. He's been at the center of his team's most successful moments in all 3 sports he plays. But you wouldn't know it from talking to him.
Nah, he's a humble young man. He just wants to play football, be a student, be a friend, just be a good person. You don't see any change in him. He does practice harder, and you would expect that from a senior. He does do things at a higher level, but again, you would expect that. But as far as any change because of the things that have happened to him, successful things that have happened to him, no, he's a hungry man, he's a humble man.
After winning last winter's ECC basketball final,
the bank is open.
Pierre-Louis hit the track, winning the state open high jump title.
After I won the high jump, I didn't really sit around and gloat about winning it, because it got to a point where I kind of forgot about track. That I just won it. Sometimes there's a plaque in my house about it. I had to I looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, but when I changed seasons and changed sports, the last sport I just played never really crosses my mind like that.
3 days after the track season was over, he was back on the football field.
I went to camp at UConn on June 13th, and I went to URI, and then after URI, I went home, took a shower, got my clothes, and went right to Ohio, to Toledo that same night.
It's safe to assume Pierre-Louis will be central to the football team's success this year. After all, as a sophomore, they trusted him to execute the biggest play of the season.
NFA, one last shot.
The call came from Steve Burris, our OC, and his decision was real simple. This is a play that we actually script every Thursday in practice, and we do it. It's our desperation, 1 second left on the clock. We play the scenario out for the guys, this is it. Let's make a play on this.
But we practiced it a lot. We got good at it. Every time we didn't catch the ball or we dropped the hook, we would constantly do it over and over and over again. So by the time we got to the game, it was almost just a regular play to us.
When I heard it come over the headset that we were running, I said, all right, it should look like it looks like in practice. Let's do what we got to do.
Decilis has time. Over the middle. Goes to Pearson Louis. And there goes Cody. Touchdown. Touchdown Wildcats! Hook and lateral! Stuns the Red Hawks!
When Max caught it, everyone I think in the stadium was like, what are they doing?
As soon as I caught the ball, I felt like everybody around me just stopped moving, and I just had to make sure I threw it where Cody could just run into it, where he doesn't have to stop, he doesn't have to change his speed, so he just ran into it and scored, and that was amazing. Watching that, even on film today, every time I see it or I rewatch it, I'm like, whoa.
The Wildcats have pulled off a miracle on senior night.
I'm gonna watch it. You brought it up now. I think I'm gonna watch it just to remember that night.
He'll throw, pressured, steps up, lets it fly, has a man caught at midfield. Still on his feet. In the open field is Griffin Hill. Griffin Hill cuts it out to the 30, inside the 20. And down inside the 20 at the 15. Big play from Leo Griffin Hill on a pass from Pratt's. Still scoreless here towards the end of the third period. And there's a fake, and nothing there. Throws it downfield, has a man, and it's caught. First down, Bonneau. Fake punt, Whalers. What a time to pull out the wrinkle. Pratt's wants to throw. Pressured. Evades the pressure. Steps up. On his feet. Cuts it inside. First down. Roddy Pratt's inside the 10-yard line. High school rules if that's not an automatic first down. Toss to Williams. Has a hole. Cuts it outside. Spin move. Reaches for the end zone. And he's going to be just shy. Pratt hands it off. Williams. Touchdown. Whalers. Josiah Williams with the first points of the game. 6-0 New London. Perry under center. In motion, Williams. Fakes the handoff. Option play. Breaks a tackle. Still on his feet. Trying to get to the outside. Cuts it inside. Back outside. Oh, look at him move. Still on his feet. Touchdown. How did Benjamin Perry stay?
What's Dad doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2021-2022 NFA Wildcat Marching Band. After tonight's halftime performance, the NFA Marching Band will be departing to finish preparing for tomorrow's Wildcat Stand Classic here on the turf. Let's wish them good luck for tomorrow's competition.
In the last 24 hours, we have seen facilities now being created for the greatest and most complex exploration in man's history. We have felt the ground shake and the air shattered by the testing of a Sabbath. Generating power equivalents to 10,000 automobiles with their accelerator on the floor. We have seen the site as tall as a 48-story structure, as wide as a city block, and as long as 2 lengths of this field. Because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, we wish the NFA Wildcat Marching Band good luck tomorrow as they perform tomorrow at the NFA Wildcat Marching Band Classic.
I believe that there's moments that really change your life. And the talent show is definitely one of those moments.
I'm not alone in this world. Seems like everybody out there wants to have a chance to be.
The talent show basically legit saved my life. I would have probably been in jail or probably be dead.
Put me back in my place, but I won't make it easy on them.
I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor.
I was addicted to alcohol, opiates, then it turned to heroin.
It's very taboo to be gay or to be trans.
And it's never been so clear that you got a place. Now show us your face and get up on that stage and let the world know.
We're not looking for sympathy, that's not what we're doing. We're looking to prove a point that arts can heal.
That space, that energy, that magic, that's already therapeutic in itself. And that's what this new London Talent Show does. It allows young people to rip off labels that people put on them and come out of their own box or their own fears.
Look, know that you can do anything that you try to do with faith in the man above and power that's inside of you. They're trying to stop you, don't let them block you or lie to you. If you let them, then they're liable to silence you.
We could have been the stereotype. We could have been those people and fit the mold. The true measure of a person is how they respond to the negative things, how they respond to tragedy. And this is our response.
This place destroys fear, destroys it, and empowers young people.
We're at halftime, 42-0, Darien on top. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the personalized, gentle care you deserve. 177 Boston Post Road, waterforddentalhealth.com. Casey O'Neill along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, and we should let everybody know, big event coming up this holiday season, December 20th, live from the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Is the first ever day holiday classic, a basketball tip-off featuring in the first game the two-time defending state champions. Even though it's been 4 years since the first one, the Waterford Lancers and the Ledyard Colonels, and then the nightcap, the one everyone wants to see. I would say the premier team in the state over the past 5 years. Nope, East Catholic.
Yeah.
With the premier player, the Connecticut Player of the Year, Donovan Clingan, going to UConn, but a top 25 recruit. They played an epic game last year. That will be live on theday.com. Mohegan Sun Arena. Ticket information will be coming up this fall, but that's going to be a heck of a day.
Big boy basketball right there. You're going to see the two local teams have made some noise. Like I said, the state champions, and Waterford and Ledyard's been solid over the last few years. New coach at Ledyard, and then you're going to see the heavyweights in the nightcap.
So outstanding effort, great job by the NFA band. We saw them launch a rocket, which originally when I was told that was going to happen, I thought we were going to see some pyrotechnics. But that was better. What we saw was better. So here comes a 3-part quiz.
Oh, boy.
There was a famous president whose audio was used during that performance. What president was it?
Eisenhower.
That is incorrect. John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy.
Ask not what your country can do for you. And we should go to the moon, not because it's easy, but because it's hard. A famous astronaut was heard on tape saying one giant...
Neil Armstrong.
Very good. All right. One small step for man, one giant step for mankind. All right. And the song they played, I will wager $1,000 that you don't know that
song. No, I didn't know.
Of course you don't. It's from The Greatest Showman.
Okay.
It is Reach for the Stars. It was a duet from Zendaya and Zac Efron. It's a great movie. Hugh Jackman. It's a great film. That was Reach for the Stars, which was perfect. for the NFA band right there. But Sports Doctor,
they don't disappoint.
1 out of 3 though was
That's
better than I
That's
thought.
not bad.
Better than I thought.
They don't disappoint.
No, that was
the
that was
NFA
great.
band is good. It's tremendous. I mean, the whole 9 yards, the show, the works, the directors, the kids, and Casey. I don't know if you know, but a lot of time goes into that.
I mean,
a lot of preparation goes into that.
I use the band when I talk about pro-social activities, and I talk about everyone thinks of sports. The same exact principles that apply to being part of a sports team is on display there. You had the flag corps, the band, you had people wielding props.
Sure.
In order to do all of that requires coaching and discipline and practice, and so you have to be part of a team in the truest sense of the word. All the effort that goes into playing football, just as much effort goes into what you saw, that performance right there. As if 42-0's not bad enough, NFA is going to kick off here to start the second half. And wow, a bomb of a kick down to the 15-yard line. Darien return will be Minikis to the 30-yard line, when that's where the Blue Wave will set up shop for their first possession of the second half. Again, 42-0 here at halftime, which means
clock is running.
Running clock for the entire second half. So this one will be quick here in the second half. We'll see if we get some new bodies in the game. Mirage will be at running back, and Palin will be at quarterback for the Blue Wave. Some new receivers,
all new receivers
as well.
Yeah.
So first down, Palin gives it to Mirage. Big hole, cuts it to the outside, stiff arm, and first down to sideline, crosses the 45-yard line. Jamal Mirage. Now you see him, and now you don't.
Well, this is the time of the game. We're going to see a lot of different bodies in there for both teams. Darien and NFA.
I'd like to see, we're going to see some young kids, but you're going to see the same effort differently because, like you said, NFA wants to score.
Yep.
Darien wants a shutout. Mirage, nothing there. Great job. Middle of the NFA line. Dante Henry in on the tackle. Also, number 55, Giancarlos Montalvo, only a freshman. Give a little shout out to the freshman out there. Speaking of shout outs to the freshmen, the freshman A.J. O'Neill over at Fitch High School.
Yeah,
right now.
I was getting a little update on him.
Trying to get a score, and I haven't been able to get a score.
Bacon at Fitch?
Probably not a bad thing that I don't have a score. Another handoff to Mirage. And, the center of the NFA line battling right now.
Yep.
Doing a nice job as they
Well, I think you talked about it a little bit going into the locker room. Let's just play with intensity. Let's treat the game as it's 0-0. Let's get a lot of different bodies out there for Jason Bakulis, and no quit. We don't want to see the team quit.
Yeah, and I think if I were the goals for NFA, it's going to be to defensively do a better job controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And offensively, it's going to be to try to score. I mean, that's going to be the over.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to do, a better job on the line of scrimmage, both sides. Palin, screen pass, complete, bubble screen, and a couple of yards on the play. That's McMullen, who has been the kicker.
Yeah.
And that time the junior wide receiver, the diminutive one, 5'5", 125. That's adorable. That's put him in your pocket compared to some of these big guys on the Darien team.
Offensive guys a little frustrated. They're going to punt. Hey, fellas, you're up 42-0. Kick it away.
Herget will punt it, standing at his own 40. Caps is the deep man for NFA, down inside his own 10. So I think this is only the second time we've seen seen Darien punt the ball today. Something I know they're not accustomed to. Herget gets a nice punt, bounces and takes a huge Darien bounce sideways and deep inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. So clock running, 8:40 remaining here in the third period, 42-0, Darien on top, and we'll see what NFA does to start the second half. So
Dessels will come out to start the second half as quarterback.
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll see. I think you'll see the backups maybe in the third quarter.
All right.
While we have this timeout, we should let you know that this timeout is brought to you by CRAC, bringing the light to mental health through opening doors and opening minds. You can learn more at CRACCT.com, SERACCT.com. A lot to talk about here as the clock runs. Sports Doctor, we're going to talk a little bit about Notre Dame. We'll talk about that in a moment as it's 1st and 10, ball at the 8-yard line. Decilis to throw, pops a little screen to Laurent, and not much there. So you remember our guy Jake Irons, right, from Plainfield, our buddy who interned with us, went on to do all the games himself, became a big thing. Well, he is
he's at Notre Dame?
He's at Notre Dame.
No kidding.
And tomorrow he will be doing the radio broadcast of the Notre Dame-Cincinnati
good for
game.
him.
He's done play-by-play and color for multiple sports, including volleyball and football. And
he's making his way, isn't he?
He's really working it. So I was talking with his father as pass is behind, incomplete, looking for Vieira. So evidently one of the Cincinnati players made a bit of a comment. When asked how they were prepping for the loud crowd at Notre Dame, said something along the lines of, well, they're not going to be loud for very long.
Oh, boy. Little bulletin board material from the Bearcats.
You would have thought there was a Yo Mama joke in that one. That was
something.
Oh, yeah, the Notre Dame faithful took that one to heart, and all week long they have been imploring the student crowd to be as loud as possible as the Bearcats come in with a little chip on their shoulder, though. Decilis pass intercepted. Intercepted and down inside the 20-yard line, Will Demmel. And Will Demmel, the senior, picks off Decilis, and it's going to be Darien football in the red zone. Down at the 17-yard line.
Yeah. 1st and 10, Darien.
And it looks like we're going to have another new quarterback for Darien. It's going to be Simeon Dahl, the junior, number 14 in the ball game for Darien. And he hands off to Mirage, and there is nothing there. I will say the NFA defensive front is doing a much better job.
Second half, they come out holding their own a little bit.
I think they know that Darien's going to run the ball predominantly, too. So
Sure.
Simeon Dahl, a junior, 6'2", 160. They just trotting quarterback after quarterback out there. I bet you he could throw the ball, too. Keeps it himself, heads to the sideline, and breaks a tackle, cuts back inside. Nice job by the junior Simeon Dahl as he evaded multiple tacklers. Got a positive play there. Clock running, 5:30 remaining here in the third period, 42-0 Darien. So now you know how Berlin is in Connecticut and Berlin is in Germany. Is it Darien or Darien?
Darien.
I know. I'm not from there, so
Sure.
I've heard it pronounced both ways. Mirage to the outside, buries his head, heads to the end zone, waiting for the signal, bounced out of bounds. Just shy, but Jamal Mirage with a big run on third down will bring a first down and goal for the Blue Wave. Mirage with a tough run. And we don't have a 44 on the roster, and of course, that's who gets the carry on first down. And
no touchdown call for him.
I hope not, because he'll be 44
and out the door. Yeah, 44 step in the door. Yeah.
Oh man, so that's a penalty on 1st and goal from the 3. Clock is supposed to be running, and I don't know why it's not. Because it stops on penalties, which it really shouldn't, because a running clock should be a running clock, and there it goes.
That's right.
It only stops for a second on penalties, then we wind it. Mirage back into the ball game at running back with Dahl at quarterback. Dahl hands off to Mirage. Mirage churning towards the end zone, fighting, churning. Touchdown, Jamal Mirage. They thought they had him, but it was just a mirage, Sports Doctor. Touchdown, Darien.
Well, number 8, he did speak highly of himself on the sidelines talking to you before the game. He said, I'm going to put on a little show.
I said, do something. He's like, I got you. Touchdown, Darien. It's now 48-0 with 4 minutes remaining here in the third period. And McMullen will head back on for his 7th extra point of the day. Snap is good. Hold is good. And a flag down, but the kick is good. We'll see if the penalty stands, or I'm sure if it's against NFA, they'll decline it. And we have an NFA player down on the field. They'll attend to him. So 49-0, Darien, with 4 minutes on the dot remaining here in the third period.
Cincinnati is throwing bulletin board material at Notre Dame when Brian Kelly used to coach at Cincinnati.
Which, I mean, Notre Dame didn't need much anyway because for
Right.
that very
That's
reason.
yes.
But they have it. And, you know, Cincinnati's a good program. And really, they're probably better than Notre Dame. Notre Dame is still – this is really a bridge year for Notre Dame. I
Right.
mean, they're still –
His good pieces, though. Williams is a good back.
Well, yeah, I mean, his recruiting is – first of all, it's Notre Dame.
Right.
I mean, they should never be the 20th ranked team in the country. We don't have this conversation about Alabama, although this year, no Clemson, no LSU. It's weird seeing some of these teams not ranked.
Right.
But the point is, Notre Dame should be a top, 15 school every year. It's Notre
Dame.
And they hadn't been for a while. He's gotten them back there. Their recruiting class is good enough that there's really even a transition year. But I thought they were going to be a 2-loss team this year, 3-loss team. And they still might be because they got the tough part of their schedule right now.
Yep.
But, that's a good game for them tomorrow. Real measuring stick for just
Well, it was a
where
big
they are.
win. It was a big win against Wisconsin coming off that squeaker against Toledo a few weeks back, which was mind-boggling. But, yeah, they'll be all right.
Well, like I said, the offense still problematic. The defense really shone against Wisconsin with the back-to-back pick sixes. Otherwise, that would have been a disaster. So here's the thing. This weekend has the potential to be a devastating sports weekend for yours truly. I am a Notre Dame fan.
You're a Red Sox fan.
I'm a Red Sox fan.
Yeah.
And we got Pats on Sunday night. I could see Notre Dame lose.
Yeah.
The Red Sox get knocked out of the playoffs, and the Pats get beat 57-0 by Brady.
Was it good for the Patriots that Tampa Bay lost out in L.A. last week? Rams are good.
Oh,
the Rams are good.
Rams are
a
very
good team.
Low line drive kick hits the turf and goes into the hands of Laurent straight up the gut. Breaks a tackle and crosses the 40-yard line before he's tripped up and goes to the ground. But Laurent has done a fabulous job, Sky Laurent, all day on these extra
250 yards, all-purpose yards for Laurent, most of it on kickoff returns.
Yeah, he's been pretty spectacular. Tampa's a very good team. I mean, the Patriots can't ask for much more. Brady's got a cold.
Sure.
Gronk's out.
Yeah, beat up.
The backup running back, Bernard, is out of the game. So, and they can't ask for much more.
Is Gronk out for that game, or is he questionable?
He's doubtful.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you after this play why I'm shocked at that. How hurt he must actually be.
He wants to play.
Oh my God! I mean, Brady's going to break the record.
Yeah.
You don't think Gronk wants to be in on that?
Yeah.
Handoff straight up the middle. Nice run on first down by Laurent, and he'll get almost a first down. He'll gain 9.
Is it personal?
Oh, 100%.
You get his.
I think more so for Gronk
than
even for Brady. Let's not forget they traded him. They tried to trade him to Detroit, and the guy retired, rather than play for the Patriots, and then came out of retirement to go join Brady. I do think it's personal as Laurent gains a first down on second
down. Does it bother you as a Patriots fan to see Brady doing so well?
Not at all. I love Brady.
No, you love Brady,
Unlike my father, who is watching right now, and I think to say that Brady is dead to him would be an understatement. I mean, he is Belichick times 100. He is all in on Bill. And, he says he roots for the jersey, right? So Brady's gone. So first down run. Nice gain, 5 yards. They're pounding Laurent, and he's doing a real good job with the football. Big gain, about 4 yards. But, I mean, I like Brady. Matter of fact, I love Brady. I think he's maybe the greatest team sports player of all time. So I'm rooting for him to do well. But, of course, I'll be rooting for the Patriots. But I think Gronk's got to be in agony if he's not doesn't play in that game. Out in the flat, quick pass, complete down the sideline and close to a first down. Nice pass to Viara. The senior Jamal Viara will gain a first down. NFA moving the football. This plays into what we talked about. NFA wants to try to score.
Right.
That's all they want to do. They want to put 6 points, 7 points, 8
Sure.
points on the board. 1:35 clock running. And Darien has pride too, right? They want to see that 0 on the board.
Yeah.
First down, Desalus has pressure, spins away, tries to get outside, and not going to do it. John Brennan, the junior, was the first to get him. Big loss back to the 45-yard line.
Desalus is quick, couldn't get away from that rush.
Yeah, Brennan broke in, untouched. Desalus tried to roll away from him, but Brennan had the angle, couldn't do it. That's going to bring up second down. Quick throw, complete. Desalis has his man, Savion Jones. Jones gains back about 6, but it's still going to be 3rd and long.
I think a couple of years ago here at the academy with, Mulkentine and, a few of the other players that played here.
Cody.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah. Jawan Johnson.
Yeah.
Remember him from 5-6 years ago?
Of course.
That kid was good, man.
Of course. And that's what we talked about earlier. Those NFA teams struggled with teams
Right.
like Darien. And this team isn't quite that team. Clock down under 15 seconds remaining here in the 3rd period. Desalis to throw, has pressure, rolls right, looking, dumps it, incomplete. And really just too much pressure that time. Desalis rolling right off the bat. That's going to take us to the end of the 3rd period. 49-0, Darien on top. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
At The Day, our journalists are in your community, talking with business owners, attending town meetings, analyzing data, talking to government leaders, reporting on the issues that matter most to you. Since 1881, we have been serving our community and will continue to do so 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Never miss a day of news. Enjoy convenient home delivery right to your doorstep, 7 days a week. Subscribe at theday.com/membership.
Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. At Waterford Dental Health, we provide solutions to all your dental needs. Visit us today at waterforddentalhealth.com, 177 Boston Post Road in Waterford. Casey O'Neill, along with the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien. 4th quarter action here, 49-0. Darien they put on a clinic in the first half.
Yeah.
Now we got a running clock. And right now it's just about the second guys coming in and seeing what they can do. Here it's 4th and 12 for NFA. Desalis still in the ball game for the Wildcats. On 4th down. Gonna throw. This time he has time. Deep ball. Has him in and just overthrows Jeremiah Capps, who was running free at the 5. Incomplete. Darien holds. And NFA might not get the ball back.
I don't think so. No, you're right.
Running
a couple of first downs. So we talked about Jason Bakulis, his message in the locker room at halftime. What this program takes from the game and says, this is our measuring stick. How about Darien? Obviously a tough game last week against, Newtown, who's obviously a pretty substantial high school football team. What do they take from this road trip over here?
I think they did what they needed to do as far as they came out, put the hammer down, and just, after that initial fumble, they scored on like 6 straight possessions.
Sure.
So now these guys want to shut out, and this group of offensive players wants to try to score as well.
Right.
But the message for them as a program is that St. Joseph's game.
That's it.
That's the game,
yeah.
right? So what their coach is going to say is this, and it's not entirely fair, but it's accurate. As number 44 gets wrestled down, no gain. He's going to say to Ty Kaminski,
you can't fumble that against St. Joe's because you
right.
turn it to 7 points going
That's
the other
right.
way.
And he's going to tell the punt returner guy,
right, you can't make that mistake.
Like,
Yeah,
we lose 2 turnovers against, because they're -2 in the turnovers, right? No, they got an interception.
Yeah.
But if we're -1 in the turnovers against St. Joe's, we probably can't.
Right,
win that
he'll
game.
find something something negative to try to turn to a positive.
Oh, ball loose, picked up, and off to the races. Savion Jones, touchdown, Mr. Jones for the Wildcats, and they get on the board via the defense. 49-6, Savion Jones, the junior, scooped up the fumble and took it to the house. And there's a building block for the Wildcats.
There you go.
So now
there you go. There we can't do that against St. Joe's, so it's going to turn back into 6 points.
Yep, fumbles.
So in our search for perfection as a football team, these are the 2 or 3 things that we just can't afford to have happen. There you go. There's a coach's speech.
Brady Conley in for the extra point for NFA. Snap is good. The kick is up, and it is through, and 49-7 here. Darien on top. No, but and forget that fumble and that score, because that's that's the second string kids out there. But the first fumble of the game, that's true. You can't, if you're gonna play a team like St. Joe's, who's gonna have a much more physical line than NFA put forward, they're gonna have a much deeper pool of skill position players than NFA did, and they're not gonna make those mistakes. So that's the message that Coach Forget is gonna give the Blue Wave is to be the number 1 team in the state. In a couple of weeks, we have a chance to actually prove it, because we're playing St. Joe's straight up. We can't have those mistakes. But for Coach Bakulis, they accomplished. The offense didn't score, but they got on the board, got the shutout going, which is always a big deal. You hate seeing the shutout. Right now, the score of 49-7 puts them, Fairfield Ward was 41-8, and Bristol Central was 47-0. They're right in the mix
there,
with those. And so other than the Newtown game, that's pretty much what Darien's done to its opponent. So NFA, isn't in bad company, and Darien has done it to everybody they've played this year. And it really does tell you that Newtown team has got.
Solid. They were 4 in the state.
Yeah, they were a good team. Kick comes down and returned by McMullen, and he's popped.
Yeah, Newtown won the Class LL state championship 2 years ago.
Yes.
They did.
The last time we had a
Last time we had a championship, yeah.
I have to admit, I've gotten lost with when the state championships, and we haven't had it for 2 basketball seasons.
Sure.
So the last one was
2018.
18, right? We didn't have 19 and we didn't have 20.
Yeah, 19 got canceled.
And then we didn't have 20.
Right.
So it's like I get lost a little bit with the state championships with football and basketball, and we'll have to.
Well, football, they had state champions in 19.
Right.
They just did not the basketball.
Right, because the football was in the fall.
Right.
And we shut things down in
March 14th.
March 13th.
Yep.
Friday the 13th, ironically, of March. So that was right in the middle of the basketball. ECC tournament happened, but the state tournament didn't happen.
Right.
Of course, undefeated NFA at the time.
Chris Giusti,
number 1 team. What do you think about bringing him on during basketball this year?
Yeah, he's good.
Bring him on.
He's good. I like Juice.
You guys can talk coaching. You of course, being the Summer League Coach of the Year. I heard. I heard that correctly?
I finished second.
You were voted Summer League Coach of the Year.
I finished second in the voting.
Oh, second in the voting. Yeah, but it was your own team that voted that.
Right.
So that's tough. Third down coming here for
Chuck
Darien.
Foreman out there, number 44. He is not listed.
No. So it'll be 3rd and 6, clock running, 8 minutes remaining here. So will the Red Sox make the wild card? And does this have 2000 and what year was that? 2013?
Yeah, the year they won it all.
The chicken and beer.
The chicken and beer. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that, huh?
The year they collapsed with Lester.
Yeah.
Nice pass to McMullen is complete, and he's knocked down. It'll bring up 4th down. And
what happened to Matt Barnes?
It's one of the weirdest things
what
I've
happened to
ever
Matt
seen.
Barnes? He was lights out in the beginning of the year.
Here's the thing: it's not like this was his first year either. He's been a lights out relief pitcher.
Right.
Comes in as a setup guy. Now all of a sudden
can't get anybody out.
We can't locate his fastball, which is part of it. But yeah, I haven't seen anything quite like that in a long time. But nice punt, bounces at the 30, hits NFA and bounces on into another NFA player as Caps downs it at the 30 or handles it at the 30, and that's where NFA will take over. With 7 minutes in a running clock, 49-7 Darien.
Well, the Yankees are in good shape for that wild card position.
Yeah, they're going to get the
number 1. They're going to get it.
Taking 2 out of 3 from Toronto really did a great job. They're going to roll into Tampa. I think they're going to win 2 out of 3 against Tampa because Tampa's really nothing to play for. So I think the Yankees are set at 1. Yeah. The Blue Jays are probably going to sweep LA. The Angels. I don't think, but they're 2 back. The question is whether the Red Sox can sweep or new quarterback in the game for NFA. That's Kobe Ayuyu. And we're going to get a face mask penalty, and that'll move NFA forward, and 6:22, the clock's still running. I think that the Seattle's the interesting one.
Yeah, in the mix.
Yeah, they're tied. I mean, they're tied right now with the Red Sox. So what's interesting is the best is if it finishes in a 4-way tie. If that's the best. If the Yankees, Red Sox,
Toronto,
Blue Jays,
and Seattle
all finish with the same record.
Yeah.
The Red Sox
have
the best record against those 3 teams. So they would get a home game.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Then the Blue Jays have the second best record against those teams. They would get a home game. The Yankees, with the 3rd best record, gets to choose which of those teams they want to play.
Is that something?
Do you want to play? And they would choose to go play in Boston.
Sure.
Rather than go to Toronto and play it in the Rogers Center. Pass incomplete by a UU, and it'll bring up a second down.
MVP voting. Ohtani?
I would. Guerrero is still kind of my guy. But,
Toronto.
But I think what Ohtani is doing is so unique, so special. It's unlike, it's unique. It's unlike anything we've seen in forever. So how do you not vote a guy who does both things? He's going to lead the league in home runs.
Right.
Plus, I have a hard time not choosing him. I think if you voted Guerrero, I'd be okay with that.
Right.
Yankees, I think it's split. Red Sox, I think it's split. There's multiple guys you could choose from
You're
on
right.
those teams. I don't think anybody jumps out too much on Houston. I think Ohtani, yeah. 3rd down here for NFA. Clock 4:30 remaining, 49-7. A UU steps up, throws down the sideline, incomplete. Well defended out there by number 29. Well, that's Levine on the stop.
National League best team is the Dodgers, Giants.
Well, Giants having lost in Brandon Belt, and I thought they were pretty thin and operating on thin ice to begin with, so I still think it's the Dodgers. Dodgers have more talent than anybody. But don't sleep on the Braves. Don't sleep on the Braves.
Is that the 5th straight or 6th straight division title for the Braves?
Yeah, it's like the old days. They, every year. Cardinals are good too, by the way, and no one wants to play them right now. The team no one's talking about is the Brewers, who have been good for a couple years in a row now. As the punt takes in a Darien hop back to the 37-yard line. Clock runs with 3:45 remaining. So we will be almost out of here, and during this timeout, we should just let you know that this timeout is brought to you by CRAC, bringing the light to mental health through opening doors and opening minds. Learn more at seracct.com. So if I had to pick it right now, I'm going to say I think the Cardinals will win the wild card game against the Giants.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see the Braves and the Dodgers in the championship, and I think you're going to see the Dodgers back in the World Series, and I think you're going to see, believe it or not, I think you're going to see Astros Dodgers again.
Yeah. Dusty Baker.
Yeah. So, a lot of great sports. Did you watch the Ryder Cup?
I did. I loved it. What a great course. Great course.
Listen,
Lake Michigan, Whistling Straits.
I had to. You have to enjoy seeing, Shane Lowry trying to stand on the side of a cliff.
How about the shot by Spieth? Yeah.
But forget the good shot because I can't do that. But I can stand on the side of a cliff just like Shane Lowry and fall down. I'm like, I recognize that.
Yeah.
But that's
great. That was
my
great.
Favorite.
That was fun.
So, I know everyone loves the Masters, and so do I, but the Ryder Cup's my favorite golf event by far.
Do you think the players are losing a little juice for it? Or do you think that they were spirited? You think they were spirited?
No, I think what happened this year, first of all, in Europe, the Ryder Cup is a way bigger deal.
Yeah, it's Rome next year. I believe it's in Rome next year.
Yeah, those guys, you saw Rory McIlroy crying afterwards. I mean, the Ryder Cup in Europe means so much.
Right.
I think for a while on the U.S. with the veteran U.S. players, maybe it did lose a little luster because they're playing. I think some of them would say, I'd rather win the Masters than win the Ryder Cup.
Right.
So what Stricker did this year, bringing in the young guys, I don't think you can argue. And we have a timeout, Darien with 1:49 remaining. I don't think you could argue that there was way more juice for the Americans this year than there has been in the past.
Right.
Because of the guys he brought in with no Ryder Cup experience whatsoever. And, it's turning over golf from the Tigers and the Phils. Turning it over from those guys. I love some of the youth that they brought on the American side, some people that no one had heard of, and I know a lot was made of the Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau feud, but I love Tony Finau as a player.
He plays well. Yeah.
And we saw Schauffele's a great player, and Scheffler. I mean, great event, great job by the Americans, and that right there will wrap up our golf talk for this game day.
Yeah, it was. We've had 3 minutes go off the clock and nothing happened out there. I'm just trying to figure it out.
49-7 Darien, 1:49 remaining. A UU will throw. Deep ball over the middle, has a man, and it off the hands of Stadnicki, and that was a good ball. Stadnicki had it, and it will be incomplete. Darien will get the ball with 1:35 on a running clock, up 49-7. Of course, the sports doctor will have the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game. You can tune in for that later on. And next week, Peter Wappy, where will we be next week?
We will be in Ledyard next week as they take on New London.
Oh, New London Ledyard. That's always a good game, and that is on a Friday night, is it not?
It is Friday nights.
Friday nights, Ledyard High School. Sports doctor, you haven't get a chance to see Outlaw.
It's tough.
Outlaw's the best fullback we've seen in a few years. Yeah. And Green.
His brother's playing quarterback.
Yeah, and Green is lightning. That Ledyard team is going to be a menace in Class S. We're going to see how the Whalers handle them. Under a minute remaining here. Darien, handoff straight up the middle. Gains about 4 yards on first down, and that was our final quarterback change of the game for Darien. Give a shout out to junior Kevin Bach. Kevin Bach, the quarterback for Darien, as the clock down under 30 seconds. And I think that is just about going to do it. They're going to make them run one more play. Yeah, I'm going to make them run one more play here as Darien will cap off a 49-7 win over NFA, doing whatever they want. So the sports doctor is going to head down to the field, and he's going to get Ty Kaminski, who is the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game. As the clock ticks down, and that is 49-7. A thorough win for the Darien Blue Wave. Congratulations as they move to 4-0, and they are headed towards their showdown with St. Joseph's. For NFA, they turn to 2-2, and they will rejoin ECC play. 49-7 Darien. Join us next Friday night at Ledyard High School. New London Whalers, Ledyard Colonels in a rivalry game in the ECC. Thank you for tuning in tonight. For Peter Wappy and the crew and the sports doctor Keith O'Brien, I am Casey O'Neill. Good night, everybody.